Hello everyone, my name is Divyansh. I'm a PhD scholar at IISc Bangalore, and today I have with me Ankush, who came for an interview, MVLSI interview, right?
MVLSI.
So welcome to IISc Bangalore.
Thank you.
How are you liking the campus?
I haven't seen the campus. I came at 9 a.m. and it's just
Okay.
yeah.
So tell me about yourself.
My name is Ankush John. I'm pursuing my bachelor's in electrical engineering at IIT Bhubaneswar.
Okay.
And I'm applying to be in MVLSI.
Oh, so you are currently in your third year or fourth
Fourth
year?
year.
You're in your fourth year. Okay. And you're from Double E.
Double.
Double E, nice. So you gave GATE this year?
Yeah, EC
Okay.
and double.
Okay. So what was your rank?
2 in EC.
Oh, he is IR too. And what was your score?
1000.
1000.
Yeah.
You have a perfect score.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you see the kind of people we have here at IISc, AI 2000 score. So congratulations on your perfect score. So how was your interview like?
My interview was all right. I had prepared for like technical questions. Like I thought they'd ask like GATE syllabus questions. They didn't ask anything at
Oh,
that point.
so what they asked?
They started off by asking for my introduction, and they said, "Do you have any experience in EC?" And I mentioned that my project is in an EC related thing. It's in a tunable filter, and so then we went into the depths of that, of the filter design and how I chose the parameters and all of those.
Okay.
I was able to answer a lot of those questions, but some of them relating to the op amp, I feel a little bad because I couldn't. There were some questions I couldn't quite get. But overall, that was the full technical section in terms of like core questions.
Okay. How long was your interview?
My interview was, I guess, around 20 minutes maybe.
Oh, that's very short. I guess you were able to answer a lot of questions. They must be really impressed. So that
I don't think they didn't seem impressed at all, but I mean, they were very polite. I'm not nothing like that.
Yeah, that's what I say. The professors here are very polite. So even if you don't know anything, what was your experience if like you stuck somewhere? Were the professors they were helping you out or?
Yeah, they were sort of hinting at the where I should. I was a bit flustered. I'll admit at the start. And
That
so
happens.
then,
Yeah.
And so then they were sort of maybe nudging me in one direction, maybe not.
Okay. So you have applied to IISc Bangalore in what all departments?
MVLSI, ESC, and signal processing.
Signal processing. Okay. So your interest lies majorly in VLSI domain, I believe. Okay. And where else you have applied?
Applied at IIT Bombay and Madras.
Oh, IT Bombay, IT Madras, and IISc Bangalore. That's all. I believe those are the top options. Everybody who has a rank within 50, they apply to majorly these three institutes and they get in, and then they decide right what they want. Yeah. So then the factor is which institute do you like more. So if you like Bombay more or Bangalore more, you will just join that. So what are you planning to join?
We're just at the interview stage. If I get selected, I'd like to come to IISc Bangalore.
Okay. But you're native from Mumbai.
I'm native to Mumbai, yeah.
Okay, but you're not joining Mumbai.
I'm not that interested. I might end up at IIT Bombay, so I don't want to like say IIT Bombay is bad or anything. It's a very good college. I think like big picture, they have very similar graduating outcomes, facilities. I think very similar. So then there's these smaller things like maybe I don't want to stay so close.
Oh, okay, sure. But it's a personal preference, you can say.
Yeah,
right?
it's a personal preference.
But for just like, I'm just amazed by the fact that somebody is like, so inclined toward IISc Bangalore instead of IIT Bombay because it's the other way around usually.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because IIT Bombay is much more happening. To be honest, it's a technical institute, right?
Yeah.
And there are we don't have a lot of UG students here. So it's mostly PGs and PhDs. And they are mostly doing their work, occupied in their labs and all. But we do know how to party. You have seen all those videos, so we do party. But it's not as good as compared to IIT Bombay. But our research is definitely number one. We are NIRF ranking 1, so that is there. But just the fact that you want to join this, it's very nice. You will be most welcome there. Your first lunch will be on me if you join. And so let's talk about your grade preparation. Yeah. How was your preparation like?
I started preparation in May of last year, which is about 10 months of preparation. And I spent around 800 hours or something like that preparing for GATE. I'm from a double E background, so there were some topics that were completely new to me, like communications and some semiconductor physics. Completely new to me, so I had to...
So what were the resources you used?
Free advertising. I use Made Easy. They have a test series, and there's Kanodia. It's out of print right
now. Oh yeah. Kanodia is very nice. I've solved that EC Kanodia, the pura semiconductor ones and all. That is amazing. And what about the communications and all? What about those subjects?
Communications. I followed the NEPTEL lectures, and that was almost enough.
Yeah, so one question would you, because you have such a good rank, do you think the NPTEL videos and some test series after that and PYQ, would this be enough for someone to get a very good rank?
I think I think it's definitely enough with an asterisk that your like basics are okay. Like in this last fourth year, I'm not like learning, apart from communications, I'm not learning any new topics. So it's just more of a revision. So if your fundamentals are decent, then I think that's more than enough. You don't need.
Oh, and because you are from IIT, there are a normal misconception that CGPA is not that important when it comes to getting a good job or a good placement into good institute. Do you think that is important?
It is important up to a certain point.
What was your CGPA?
A 9.4.
See, that definitely helps. If you have a good CGPA in your bachelor's, it shows that you have taken your subjects very sincerely and you have studied for those subjects, and that is definitely going to help in your GATE preparation.
Yeah.
So don't think that your CGPA is not that important. I believe if you're not as good as him, you will not plan to get a 9.4, but anything above 7.5 should be good enough.
Yeah.
If you have an 8, that is amazing. What would be some advice you would like to give your juniors about this GATE preparation?
Start early, I guess, and for me, I mean, yeah, start early and do practice regularly. Like I was doing it parallelly with college, so I was only spending like maybe 25 hours a week, 30 hours a week, which is not that much. Some people spend like 8 hours a day. So I think it's better to be like consistent from the start. It's
very important.
Yeah.
So how did you manage your studies in college and parallelly studying for GATE? How did you plan that?
I mean, I did a bulk of it in the summers to sort of help me. And then I think fourth year placements are going on. And so professors are also a little understanding if you slack a little. But I mean, my advice would be just go to class and like pay attention. That's pretty like enough to get a decency.
True. A lot of people ask me this. I get a lot of queries that it's very difficult to manage with studies in the college and maintaining GATE.
Yeah.
But if you just, I always say they are very relevant things. They are all correlated. So if you're studying something advanced in communication, for example, basic communications want to come in GATE. So you can just correlate with that.
That's another great point. I've had people ask me like, how do I manage studies and this? And the answer is you should focus on your studies. Like that, honestly, that did a lot of work for me. In my interview, in the second part for mathematics, they were covering linear algebra. They were going into depth. And I have a course this semester for mathematical theory of control. And so
that should have helped, yeah.
It helped. I had no idea, like I couldn't have answered that level of linear algebra prior to this, but it was like right at my fingertips because I'm covering it right now.
Yeah. One more question. You are so well spoken, and honestly, like I'm talking to you, I'm like, yeah, that guy is so well spoken. What is the key for that? How did you build such good communication skills?
I just like in my college I was in like the literary society. I like these things.
You were literary society.
Yeah.
That shows, right? I can see that. So besides studies, what have you done? Like any hobbies or something that?
No, I don't think no real hobbies. I mean, I have phases, I guess. There was a chess phase. There was the various phases. Nothing. Like,
we play chess every day here.
Oh,
yeah. So whenever we get bored with studies, we have chess and all these things. Are we nerds?
It's a pretty geeky sport,
thing,
but
but it's fun, right?
Yeah,
it's very fun. Let's discuss the other part of your interview. So besides the project work you have done, they asked questions on that. Besides that, what they asked?
They asked just the project and mathematics.
Mathematics.
They gave me an option between differential equations and linear algebra.
Okay.
And I preferred linear algebra. My differential.
Yeah, you have done that course. So.
Yeah, and so then we went into that. So it was what is rank, what is eigenvalue, and then
the basic questions. Okay.
Basic questions.
They kind of developed questions from that. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, I mean, I don't want to contradict myself, but it's not like I needed the course to answer the questions. It's just that doing it right now makes it very easy to access that information. It's not like it was out of syllabus or something very advanced you need. It's basic linear algebra.
So what they have studied, what we usually study in GATE, that is enough for...
Yeah. If your mathematics there is solid, sometimes they'll ask you, to, like I've seen in other people's, and they ask you like draw a function or like graph a function, all these like classic interview questions they ask.
So most of the time they mostly start with plot this graph, the graph plotting part. The linear algebra is must, eigenvalues, eigenvectors, rank, determinants and everything. And they go to differential equations after that. And if you're able to answer much, they'll be go to transforms, Laplace or Fourier transforms. So I was asked a lot of questions on transforms as well. And yeah, that was when I look back, my interview, mostly it was mathematics questions and semiconductor questions, semiconductor device physics questions. And derivation, did they ask you any derivations?
For my project, I used one formula and they said derive this for us, and I knew that formula. So
okay. In GATE, you have a lot of subjects, right? You have almost 10 subjects you have to cover. So how did you break down the subjects so that you can give optimal time to every single subject?
So like I said, I started in May, and I would take 2 subjects at a time, and I would try to do like one hard, one easy. So the first ones I took were network theory and communications. My network theory is pretty simple, communications almost no idea. And so I would do both of these parallelly for 2 weeks each, so 1 month total. So for 10 subjects, it should take you around 5 months. This is a very ideal situation. It took me 6 months to finish this 5 months, and even then my digital communications was not very pakka.
Okay.
But I mean, this was the first preliminary just to get the basics out of the way, and then from there I would just do the test series. This is actually something I felt very common advice is to give a lot of
test series, right?
Yeah,
and analyze the test series.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, test series is important, analysis is also important, but I remember being told to do a lot of 3-hour tests, because GATE is a 3-hour test. You won't have the stamina. You know, if you write only these 1-hour topic-wise tests, you won't have the stamina to write a whole 3-hour test. But I just couldn't do it for whatever reason. I couldn't do it because it would take 3 hours to write the test, and it takes 2 hours to analyze the thing, and my whole day would be
it's a long process. Yeah,
that's my full prep for that day would just be writing the thing. So I actually only did like 6 or 7 full-length tests. I mostly focused on these subject-wise tests that are 1 hour.
Okay, so the whole preparation you have only given 6 to 7 full-length tests.
Yeah.
Okay, and mostly focused on the subject-wise test.
Yeah.
That is important. There will be different people giving different advices, and some things will work for you and some things will not work for you. It's not necessary that something has worked for him will work for you as well. So you should optimize based on your thing. You know the agenda, right? You have to prepare the subject, you have to give test series, you have to analyze the test series and repeat the cycle. What schedule is fitting for you, that you have to decide on your own, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here at the campus.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I hope a lot of students would be able to learn from you a lot. Yeah, and I hope you make it here.
I hope so too.
Yeah, and even I know you will get both at IIT Bombay, IIT Madras and IISc Bangalore. But I hope you do join us, because we would love to have students like you here, because IISc is a science institute. We focus a lot on research and as well as technology. So if you want to, after you join here, you can have an option to either go to industry or go maybe somewhere really nice for a PhD. You can decide what you want. But that option will also be there in most of the IITs as well. But the amount of information, because our curriculum is very rigorous, you will feel that once you come here. But the learning you will have here as a master student would be amazing. So I hope you make it here, and thank you so much for this talk. Thank you so much.